Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to Ox Plays. This is a test stream of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we're going to attempt my first solo flight, and hopefully I don't screw it up. I'm flying a Cessna in Sedona, and there should be a quick test flight. It's a Cessna 152. And let's see how I do.
It's time. Your first solo flight. I'll be watching from the ground in radio contact if you need me, but something tells me you won't. Your goal is to complete Sedona's left-hand traffic pattern on your own. Remember what we covered in our previous sessions, and you'll be just fine.
Now,
Good
I've
luck. See you on the other side.
butchered this a few times, and I'm not afraid to admit it. So we're going to go ahead and throttle up 100%, and we have our gauge, which is here for the airspeed. And once we hit 60% on the gauge, we're going to go ahead and start pulling back, which is right about now. And we're going to maintain a positive attitude to reach 5,400 feet, which is this gauge here. So the small number is at 5,000, and we need to get this to 400. So let's reach that 5,400. Making sure to keep an eye on our airspeed and also our attitude, which is the blue and brown dial there. Now that we're at 5,400, we're going to start turning to our left here to join the traffic pattern, which I believe puts us in a crosswind. So that's our stall indicator going off there, that the engine's stalling a bit. And already I'm not a huge fan that they're not giving me indicators where to go. But we'll see if we can figure this out. So there's the runway right there. So I'm going to drop the throttle just a bit, down to 2,300 RPMs, and engage my flaps for landing. Let's see if we can figure this out solo. This instructor is really not not giving me any advice on this one, I guess. Let's bump our airspeed up a little bit, up to 2,300. Which is the RPMs there on the right. And I think we may have missed the traffic pattern because it hasn't greenlit this just yet. So let's see if we can go in for a landing and we'll see what happens. Again, this is my first solo flight, so if you're watching this and you're like, man, Zach really sucks at this game, you would be right. You would 100% be right. I'm just trying to line up my approach there on the runway. trying to maintain some airspeed. Adjust my trim just a bit. The airport is right there. So we're going to come in and attempt a landing. And even if we don't clear the objective, at least it'll give me another practice landing. So let's see what happens. So we're going to start using our rudder to turn left here. No, I think we're still too far. Bring our airspeed down just a bit. We'll see if we can land this puppy. Have just a little bit of rudder to the left. Try to line me up on center. And I'm going to drop my speed just a bit. We're at about 2,300 RPM. Want to get that down to maybe 20, 18,000. Let's line it up. Start bringing the nose down just a bit. We'll keep dropping airspeed just a little bit more. Use the rudder to line up on the numbers. We'll drop the speed just a bit more. Got a little bit off center there. See if we can bring it down nice and easy.
You weren't really supposed to land there.
Bitch.
It's well done, don't get me wrong. Just not what was expected. At this point, I think it's probably best if we start the lesson over.
Alright, we'll start it over. Alright, yeah, I don't think I hit the traffic pattern, but again, there's no indicators, so I guess this is our thing here. But this entire tutorial, it's been giving me indicators of where I should go.
It's time. Your first
I'm gonna
solo
bring up
flight.
the basic controls again.
I'll be watching from the ground in radio contact if you need me, but something tells me you won't.
So let's see if we
Your
can get it
goal
right
is
this
to
time.
complete Sedona's left-hand traffic pattern on your own. Remember what we covered in our previous
Get the
sessions,
throttle up.
and you'll be just fine. Good luck. See you on the other side.
I love how she didn't chime in until the absolute last second. That was awesome. Alright, so we're going to get up to 60 knots, which is about now. And then we're going to start gently pulling back up on the yoke. Give us a little bit of a positive attitude here. Our target is 5,400 feet, so we're going to pull up just a bit, watching our airspeed and our attitude indicator. Yep, looks good. This is for now. So 5,400. Should be coming up on that shortly. Now it says turn left to join traffic pattern, so I'm gonna give that a minute. I guess I need to see if I see that crosswind, because I felt like I turned too early, if I'm being completely honest. So let me get out of the stall. Okay, we're still full throttle. Alright, so turn left to join traffic patterns. So we're going to start doing that now. There we go. So now we got to turn left for the downward leg, which should be pretty soon. I think it's when your runway hits the middle of your, right about now. So let's start turning left for that. Alright, so turn left for base leg. So at this point, we want to start dropping our RPM down to about 2300, I believe. So we're going to drop the, which is this dial right here, dropping that down to 2300 RPM. And we got to maintain this pace. And I'll drop my flaps right now, prep for landing. So I need to line up the runway so that it's at a 45-degree angle behind me. So we're going to just kind of go parallel to it just a bit, make sure no other planes are taking off or landing, which doesn't seem to be the case. We've cleared the other 2 points, so I believe it's turn left for the base leg, and then it's basically just landing after that. So you can see we're still about parallel to the middle of the airport, so we're gonna bump up just a bit up to 2300. Altitude is still at it's at 5,650, and airspeed's just at about 40. So again, we're gonna keep going forward just a bit till we get the runway 45 degrees behind the plane. Let's see how that works. I believe this is the last tutorial before the game recommends that you solo fly. So I'll probably put in a few solo flights tonight. Probably not on a recorded stream or anything, because I feel like I'm going to butcher it quite a bit. But so far, the tutorials are pretty good, to be honest. I know nothing about flying an airplane, and I feel like I've learned quite a bit. Alright, so let's check where we're at here. It's almost about that 45-degree angle that we want. So I'm going to go just a little bit further. I'm going to drop my speed just a tad, maybe to 1800 RPM. And we'll start turning in here very gently. Keep the nose up while we're turning. I'm going to bring my RPMs up just a bit. I don't want to fully turn just yet. Don't want to commit to that just yet. Okay, so let's start figuring out when we want to make that turn. Let's bring our RPMs up just a bit. Start making that turn. And if we fail this one, I think I'm probably good to go on, because every airport's completely different, and you know, maybe I haven't memorized the traffic pattern for this particular airport, but I don't think it bears repeating too many more times. I think I get the general gist the quick takeoff and landing. Alright, so we're almost perpendicular to the airport. So I'm gonna drop my RPM just a bit. Start slowly maneuvering the plane into position. I think I overshot by just a bit, but I think we'll be fine. It hasn't checked off the turn left for base leg, but we'll see what happens when we land. There's a little bit of trees here, so we're gonna try to stay clear of those. So we're gonna bring the plane up just a bit. And I'm real off right now. So let's try to center that. Yeah, I think we're gonna fail this one, if I'm being completely honest. Ooh, it's not looking good. There we go. Oh, no, that's not good. Oh, we died. Rip. Rip. I think I'm good with the tutorial. I feel like I learned enough. But anyways, that's a quick Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. I wasn't able to finish that last bit of the tutorial when we died on the second landing, but I just wanted to test out how this game looked on stream. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I hope if it looks good that we can stream more Flight Simulator content. But anyways, I'm Zach, and we'll catch